you for coming in. I'm going to hook up my phone here. I got a new thingy. I don't know if I like it. This is better. Hello. Oh, I can rest it on my steering wheel, so that makes it even better. I'm going to have to close this. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for hanging out today. And, yes, lots of things to talk about. Whew. And it's hotter than blazes in this car. I don't know what the temperature is. Hello. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can, please let me know. Can you hear me? I don't know why it's doing that. Hello. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for hanging out today. I had one viewer. Where's the rest of my viewers at? Thank you for coming in. Oh, Lord. So, it's a beautiful day here in Northeast Ohio. It looks like my hair is red, but it's not red, y'all. It's black. But because of the sunlight. Thanks for coming in and hanging out today. I had a couple things that I wanted to talk about today, and I was going to wait till I got a few more people in here. It's been a minute. I didn't go live yesterday because my son had a doctor's appointment, and I just wasn't able to. So, whew, it's hot. There, that's better. See how much my phone stays in that direction. We'll see. So there's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. One of them, I'm saying that RFK Jr. is pushing the study for the link with vaccines and autism, which I thought was really, really super cool. For those of you who don't know, my son is autistic. And so I'm really hoping that y'all can hear me. This is going through... can you hear me? I hope. This is going through my car because I don't know how to not have it go through my car. So hopefully you can hear me. But anyway, hello. Thank you for coming in. Leave some comments. Hopefully you can hear me. So anyway, that was one of the things I wanted to rant about today, I guess you would say, is the fact that okay, so I click, hi, can you hear me? I hope. Thanks for coming in. So please make sure you give me a thumbs up. Yeah, okay, cool. I want to make sure because it's going through my car and I didn't want it to, but I don't know how to stop it going through my car and just doing my phone. So so there was something I want to talk about today. But before I get into the vaccines and RFK, I keep lagging. That's weird. Before I wanted to get into that, so Saturday we had a major issue at home. So my husband's truck, he took it in on Friday to get it fixed. And it was going to cost us $3,000 to get it fixed. So at that point, it's like, do you fix the truck or not? And so we kept the truck, but I got a new car. So I got a new car on Saturday. So things are a little bit different today. Hello, Prashad. I am in Ohio, and it's a beautiful sunny day today. I don't know what the temperature is outside. It's probably in the 60s, but it's really beautiful. Beautiful today. So thank you for coming in. I'm sorry I'm lagging. I don't know what that's about. I do have 3 bars. I'm in 5G. And before too long, I'm going to have Starlink in my car, so I should be able to hook up to that and not have any issues whatsoever. Um, so I had to get a new car on Saturday, which about had a heart attack. So not too happy about that because we've went about 2 or 3 years without car payments, and now I am stuck in a car payment, but nothing I can do about it. So I did get a brand new car, and it's fabulous. So absolutely love it. But this is my first time actually owning a brand new vehicle. So I'm kind of excited about that. But anyway, so I wanted to rant a little bit about how evil people can really be. And I have experienced a lot of that evilness on YouTube and people with their jealousy issues and mental problems and many, many other issues. But one thing I wanted to talk about was the link between that RFK Jr. No, it's not a BMW, it's a Subaru. But one thing I wanted to talk about was the issue I have with that. And so it's not really an issue. It's, I guess, an issue with people in general. If you don't know what it's like to have an autistic child, then you should just shut the hell up. Did I make that clear? Like, if you don't know, then don't speculate and don't say anything. It's if they want to research the link between vaccines and autism, then let them do it. There hasn't really been any studies. I think the one study that they did do, they didn't really dig into it. They just said it like that was going to make everything okay. And so, yeah, that's my one big issue that I actually had, is how evil people can really be. So I couldn't believe what people were saying and how ignorant people really can be. And so, sorry, I had to wave to some people. So that was my big rant for today. I just can't believe how ignorant people can be and how nasty they can be about something they have no idea about. And it's mainly people that are from a party that is supposed to be so forgiving and so accepting. But yeah, at the same time, they don't want to do any research and they don't want to wake up a little bit as to what is causing all these issues with our kids. By the way, when I was younger, um, I never had one single person that I even knew that had autism. Not one single person. I went to a small school, but there were people with learning disabilities, but they didn't have autism. So I didn't know one single person that had autism. Now, when I speak to people, it's almost like every other kid has it. It's either high functioning and they're okay with society, or they are so horrible and not good that they are stuck in another class from everybody else. Autism is a learning disability. It's a disability, that kids can get. And my son has it. He can't talk. There's just a lot of things going on. So it's really, really frustrating. By the way, if you live in Europe, there's a chance that your child will not have it, because in Europe, they don't really have autism. Not like they do here in the United States, which makes you wonder, like, is it because of vaccines? Is it because of environmental issues that we are having here? I wonder, and it pisses you off. I was 100% healthy during my pregnancy. There was nothing wrong. So it's just frustrating. And people are so evil. The comments, I couldn't believe the comments of just ignorant people. And that's another reason why I don't like to tell people that my son is autistic, because people are evil. People are evil. And my child is innocent. All right, bye. You too. It just really pisses me off. So that was kind of my rant for the day. Like, I don't understand how you can sit there on a high horse and just expect people to just not, oh, you got an autistic kid, oh, don't worry about it, don't look into it, don't oh, it's nothing, like, it just happened. Is that how I'm supposed to go through life? Just, well, it just happened to him. No, I don't have autism in any of my family line, not even a little bit, and neither does my husband. It's not an inherited thing. So it just makes me wonder what the hell is really going on. And so when I read some of those comments yesterday, I was like livid. I just couldn't believe the audacity of some people. If you don't have an autistic child, then why are you commenting on it? If it doesn't involve you, then why do you care? So that was kind of my rant for the day. It really, and it's really pissing me off right now. I just don't think people understand or they realize. And yeah, it's usually a topic of when I go to work too. Like, the woman has to chime in with her comments or whatever, and she doesn't have an autistic child. So then I had that the other day. I thought, she mentioned to me, I'd rather have my kid be autistic than not give them a vaccine. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's what I was thinking in my head. Like, so you rather have an autistic child than and give them vaccines that poison them, than not, and have a healthy child that can talk and everything else. I don't think people understand or realize how damaging and the shit that I went through when I discovered that my child is autistic. Like, and now until the rest of my child's life, I'm going to have to fight for him because he doesn't have a voice. So I'm going to have to fight for him with everything that I have, because he can't talk. He can't talk for himself. He can't make good decisions for himself. He is innocent. So it just really angered me to read some of those comments. People have no idea what the hell they were talking about, and they really just need to shut the hell up. People are afraid of what they don't know, but at the same time, they don't want to do research to find out what is really going on. If you are here, please give me a thumbs up, please, and or leave a comment and tell me what you think. Sorry, I'm in the sun, like my head's in the sun. It's crazy. So yeah, on Saturday, let's just lighten up the subject a little bit, because I'm still angry about that. Like, why on earth would you not want to research that? Why on earth would you, like, are you trying to scare, like, that's another thing that the said party of forgiveness and the party of acceptance, that's what they do. They use fear to intimidate people. And I'm experiencing it right now in a social institution of how much fear they put into people. Next year, everyone's going to lose their job and lose their mind. That isn't going to happen. It isn't going to happen. People are just ignorant. In college, when I was in college in my freshman year, I had to read this book. called says a public of fear. And that is exactly what we are going through right now is fear tactics to try and get you to vote a specific way. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to use my brain and vote on the people that impact my life, not just to vote, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So with that being said, let's move on. Saturday, had I had almost a mental breakdown. I'm not gonna lie. I did not want to buy a new car whatsoever. I am happy now that I got a new car, but I did not want to get a new car. I was like really seriously worried because we've gone years without car payments, you know? And so I had to get a new car. So for those that are dying to know, I got a Subaru Forester Wilderness. It's called a Subaru Wilderness vehicle. It's an all-wheel drive vehicle. It's brand spanking new. And I just spent like almost an hour on the phone with Subaru earlier trying to get a Subaru account so I can get Starlink hooked up to my car. So as soon as I get Starlink hooked up to my car, then I can like do automatic start and lots of other things. Please give me a thumbs up. I had 10 people in here, not one of them gave me a thumbs up. Trolls. So we went ahead and did that. It's not something I was expecting at all. It was not something that I wanted to do at all, but I had to because we wouldn't have had another vehicle. So with that being said, so far it's a very, very nice vehicle. It's an all-wheel drive vehicle. It has several modes for off-road. Have all-wheel drive, all-terrain tires. And it's just a really, really nice vehicle. Has plenty of room, leather seats. Everything in here is freaking leather. It's nuts. And it's just like super nice. I wasn't expecting to get this car. In fact, this is the first car I saw and the first car we bought. Like everything was the first. Oh, I like this car. This is the one. And we bought it and we drove off the lot with it like 2 hours later. But yeah, has several different things going on with it that are just super nice. And I have a beautiful sunroof, which I have open right now. And I don't know. There's some things with this car I still like have freaking no idea about. Like, it's very, very nice, but I still have like no idea about it whatsoever. And I'm still catching on as I drive it down the road. Oh, I didn't know I had that. Oh, I have an option to go manual if I want to, so I can shift if I want to. I don't really want to. So it's automatic, whatever. And yeah, so hello, Garden State Gardener. Thanks for coming in. Yes, sunshine. I got my sunroof open. Oh, it's nice to see the sun. Thanks for coming in. So, yeah, we've just been going through a really hard time at home and trying very hard to maneuver around everything and be there for everybody. So I don't know if I spoke about this, but my mother-in-law has type 3 kidney disease. And so we are trying to deal with that. And then yesterday, my mom is not senile by all means, but my mom is older. And my mom yesterday got a weird phone call yesterday. And thank God my husband was home. She called my husband and she's like, you need to come over here right now. And he's like, okay. So he went over there and she had some guy on the phone trying to scam her really badly. And told her that she won $15 million. and all she had to do was go to the post office and send them money. And at that point, my husband is like, no, this is a scam. You need to hang up. But it had my mom all like confused and upset because she thought it was real. And so she even went to the post office and asked them, and they were like, no, it's a complete scam. The post office is supposed to help with people like that. So if you go to the post office, usually they were like, hey, like, this is a scam. I'm just letting you know. They will warn you. Oh, I'm glad. I love Mary. She's such a good person. Hey, Sunny, thanks for coming in. And hey, Marshmallow Man, thank you for being a member, and thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So anyway, Saturday was a debacle on top of everything else. So we had to get a new vehicle. And then, yeah. So then, I don't know if you read the article, Garden State Gardener, about RFK going after the link between autism and vaccinations. And I read like all the comments in the section. By the way, I follow news all over the place. I follow the news in all the cities and stuff like that. And this was the Chicago Tribune or something like that. So I follow news in all different types of cities, and that one specifically, it was, oh, people don't believe it, and we're wasting all of our money on this. And there was just so many comments, and like I was just reading them, and I was so pissed off I had to just like stop reading it. So that was like my rant for today, is how ignorant people can be. And if they don't have an autistic kid, then they should just shut up, because they don't know what they're talking about. It never happened to them, so they feel like they can talk about it. It's just really, really frustrating. And so that was kind of my rant for today. Like, what the hell is going on? So anyway, we're having a beautiful, beautiful day in Northeast Ohio. By the way, all this week it's supposed to be super nice. And this weekend it's supposed to be horrible. So that sounds about right. If you guys are here, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. That really helps me get in with the algorithm. So make sure you do that. If you are on your phone, you can double click the screen and it will give me a thumbs up. Sorry. I do have a stand for my phone, but it's so far away now. So I'll just do this. There, that's a little bit better. Yeah. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm so tired of people like trying to dictate and tell me how to live my life, as far as politically, as far as that's concerned. So it just really, really angers me. Like, just let me think for myself. And if you have a problem with something and you think it's impacting the entire United States, then you have a right to protest and you have a right to do something about it. But till then, if it's something that doesn't involve you really directly, then shut the hell up. So that's it. I'm just enjoying this weather. Hey, what's up? Thank you for coming in. Thanks for coming into my rant. Hello, Marco. Thank you for coming in. Good day, madam. Oh, you're driving and listening. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. This whole thing with the autism thing just really angers me. Like, I have to be a voice for my son. I have to stick up for him. Like, you can't. That's like saying you don't want any research for your children. Like, oh, do you not have kids? Like, the comments were so ignorant. I just couldn't get over it, how evil people are. People are just straight up evil. And that's mainly the reason why I kind of keep to myself, that I'm not really friendly anymore. I keep to myself. I don't really talk to people. I don't want to get to know anybody because people are evil. It's really sad. It's true. Specifically on the internet. I just can't get over how evil people are and how conniving. Conniving is a really good word. Conniving. Yeah. People are super conniving. I just don't even care anymore to like get to know people. Like if you've been in my life previously and I know you and I talk to you on a regular basis or we have had a conversation, that's a little bit different. But if you're new, or if you're like new, like as far as wanting to add me on Facebook, sorry, I'm not doing it. I had somebody message me out of the blue on Facebook, and it just showed up. It wasn't something I had to accept, which typically, like if you're outside of the Facebook realm of my friends, then it will send me a message request. Hey, this person wants to talk to you, and I can choose to decline it. But if it's like a person that I've known or a person that's in um, my group of friends, then it will just pop up. And it was really somebody that I didn't know. And they felt the need to like, I don't know what they were doing, but it was really freaking weird. And I was like, yeah, I don't know who you are. So see you later. And I had to block them from my Facebook. Freaking, there's too many weirdos out there. And I just don't have time to sit here and analyze every single one and be like, oh, does this person have good intentions? Or does this person not have good intentions? And I don't have time to just sit here. I'm a busy person and I have a family and I have a life. So I don't have time just to sit here and analyze every single person that comes into my life. So I'll either choose to have you in my life or choose to not have you in my life. Like I don't have time to make friends like that. And I think that's why there's a lot of people my age that don't really have a lot of friends or don't really have a social life, because they don't really want to get to know anybody, because people are just freaking evil. But I think a lot of people also like speak before they think too. And I experience a lot of that. Like, not to talk about the lady that I work with, but prime example of that. Like, she speaks before she thinks. And then she sounds super ignorant. I'm like, I don't have time for that. I really don't. I just don't understand people. And that was my kind of my main rant today, is just the autism thing really pissed me off. So hopefully you're listening and understanding what I'm talking about. I really, really hope that they do find a link, and then I would know exactly what happened to my son, because my son was normal clear up until he was 4 years old. And then we started noticing things. So, and it was like literally right after he had his set of shots. So, it's just really, really frustrating. And it's costing us a shit ton of money, because I have to constantly take my son to the doctor for this or for that. And by the way, I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. Okay. My son has been suffering with ear infections all year, and all year last year as well. Just constant ear infections. So we go to the ear doctor. By the way, we have to go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. You can't just go to a regular doctor anymore. Everyone's a specialist. So I had to go to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. So we go in and we sit down. She looked at his ears, did a test, all that stuff, right? And then she's like, oh, he doesn't qualify for tubes in his ears. I'm like, what? I'm like, I have a really big concern with giving my son antibiotics all the time, because he's constantly, like, when he gets an ear infection, he'll take an antibiotic and then he'll be fine for a week, and then he has an ear infection again. It's like the antibiotics don't even work. And I have a huge problem with giving him more antibiotics. I don't want to give my son antibiotics. By the way, my husband mentioned the more antibiotics that you get, it weakens your immune system. And it does. It fights off the infection, but it does weaken your immune system. The doctor's like, I've never heard of that. Really? Really? So then she's like, he doesn't qualify for tubes. And at that point, I just kind of blocked her out. I was like, this is a worthless doctor's appointment. So then she's like, if he gets another one, we're starting to get warmer weather and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, well, if he gets another one, she's like, then he can qualify and we'll put tubes in his ears. So in the meantime, we spent $150 here or $300 here with constant urgent care, constant going to urgent care for this, urgent care for that. And it just pissed me off. It just pissed me off. By the way, I would run far away, but what other options do I have? Like, what am I supposed to do? Ask for a different doctor when I'm clearly at the top of I get so sick of, by the way, I have a doctor that my son goes to who is a POS. I cannot stand him. I have to doctor my son before I take him to the doctor. I cannot stand this man. But there's no other doctors. Where am I going to take my son to? I have to be a doctor myself. It's so freaking ridiculous. Yes, tubes are a common thing. And that's another thing that just kind of it really, really irritated me because he has been suffering and he's autistic, so he can't tell me when he has an ear infection. By the way, I did tell her that when she's like, what happens when he gets an ear infection? I said, usually it's so bad, he comes home from school and he'll walk right through the door and collapse onto the floor because he's in so much pain and he hurts so bad because he can't tell me that he's sick. And I don't know until it's like he's on the floor sicker than a dog. That's not normal. So, yeah. Thank you, Nora. I'm just fed up. I'm just absolutely fed up. So there's lots of options that I was thinking about, things going on. By the way, this is Rant Tuesday, so thank you for coming in, guys. Please make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you are dealing with any of this, hopefully you can relate to me. But yeah, when your son or daughter has autism, I think people just don't understand it. They just don't understand it. Then he's like, my main doctor is like, your son needs a specialist, a developmental pediatrician. Okay. It'll probably take 2 to 3 years to get him in one. So what's going on? Why do we need a developmental pediatrician? Yeah, I want to put tubes in his ears. I don't want to give my son antibiotics. It does strip your immune system. It messes up your gut biome. Everyone knows that. That's why people take probiotics when they're on an antibiotic. What do you mean you've never heard of that? People take probiotics when they're on an antibiotic so that it balances their system out, so they don't get sick. Again, it's okay. Garden sticker. It's very frustrating. And I cannot talk to ignorant people anymore. I can't do this anymore. It's either you're with me or you're not with me. I can't. Okay, speaking of ignorance, here's another one for you, okay? This bird flu thing. Let's move on from a different subject because I'm about to just lose my hair. This bird flu thing is another thing that's got me completely and utterly pissed off. Man, these people really use this as a political, like, component to try and scare the shit out of you, don't they? By the way, we wouldn't be in this mess if it wasn't for Joe Biden ordering the calling of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of chickens. If we didn't do that, we wouldn't be in this mess. By the way, for those of you that don't have chickens, it takes at least 6 months for a chicken to start laying. Hello, Uncle Al. Thanks for coming in. They really not need to stop using this as a political point. So what it's doing is it's getting the people that know nothing about the subject all worked up. So the one woman I work with is like, was trying to use her other party fear tactics on me. I told her, I said, well, the weather's going to start warming up. And I said, the bird flu should start going away. Why? Because it's a known fact that the sun destroys viruses. Ding dong. The UV light destroys viruses. When things start heating up, you don't get sick as much. Why? Because you're ingesting this beautiful thing called vitamin D. Right? And the more vitamin D you have in your system, the less likely you'll get things like cancer and different things like that. Don't take my word for it because I'm not a doctor, but it's true. So I'm like, things are going to start warming up here. By the way, have you guys done research about the bird flu in Canada or the bird flu in Mexico? Where is that at? It seems like the bird flu has not crossed one single border. So when the Canadian geese fly from Canada to Ohio every year or wherever, or down south, it seems like Canada didn't get any bird flu. You can't believe this stuff. You can't. You just can't believe this crap that's coming out. If you believe everything that they tell you, you're going to be in bad shape. You're just going to be sitting here worried all the time. You're going to need medication to fix your anxiety. Because you can't just sit here and worry about that shit constantly. And the bird flu is one thing that I am not worried about. Not even in the slightest. If one bird comes down with the bird flu, then they literally kill the entire flock. Mind control. By the way, that's another reason why I don't watch public television. I stop watching the news and stuff like that. It's the same thing that happened with North Carolina. Like in North Carolina, all those people started getting on Facebook and started talking about all the things that the government wasn't doing. They aren't doing this. They aren't doing that. And then people would get on there and say, it's not their fault. That isn't true. Don't believe these people. These people lived through it. They're living through it. Their house was destroyed. So they're getting on the internet and they're telling you what they're going through. That's probably some kind of release for them to speak about it. And then you're getting online and telling them they're liars. You can't. I believe some Joe Schmo that's sitting by the river where his house used to be versus some idiot on the internet telling him he's a liar. By the way, I'm not even 100% sure that those people that are on Facebook and stuff, I think they're paid bots or they're paid people just to pay. They just pay them to post the stupidest shit you'd ever read. Guarantee it. I wouldn't even say that they're Russian bots. I would say there's some ignorant group in America, and they pay hundreds of people just to get on mass profiles and just write a bunch of crap up. and people read it and believe it. By the way, when all this went down, I hurried up and jumped into the Henderson, North Carolina a group chat on Facebook, to actually get the lowdown and see what these people were actually going through. And it's insane, the stories that you would hear. And then you would get a sneaky little SOB in there saying, "You're a liar. That isn't true." And it's a person that actually went through it. How dare you? It's like, you can't trust Facebook for anything. Hey, Kathleen, thanks for coming in. Thanks for listening to my rants. It's just such bullshit. It really, it really is, guys. And I see it. I see through it. And you have to see through it too. You have to question everything. And that's the same when I was speaking earlier about autism and how RFK wanted to do research into vaccines about the links, when you got all those bots in there saying something different. And I'm like, who wouldn't want to do research into this? Who wouldn't want to know? It's a good thing. It's not a waste of money. Do you know how many autistic kids the United States has? Or how many people have been damaged from it? So, with that being said, that's my rant for today. I've been on here for 41 minutes. I want to thank you guys for just chilling with me today and letting me rant about this, because I am so tired. And by the way, I work for a big social institution. I'm not going to say which one. I don't ever post anything about who or where I work or anything like that. But it happens inside here too. The fear mongering that some of these people drag up is absolutely ridiculous. The fear mongering is just like, really? You believe that? Whew. Big pharmaceutical companies. Yes. Yes. And I wouldn't doubt that the big pharmaceutical companies pays hundreds of people to get online on Facebook and just create and wreak havoc. By the way, I saw somebody today. I wouldn't even think about Elon Musk on a normal basis. Like, he hasn't really normally impacted my life or anything like that. But I do want to say that if I hear someone online calling Elon Musk a moron one more time, by the way, you're on Facebook calling Elon Musk a moron when the guy is clearly like a genius. He's a genius. I'm sitting in a vehicle that has freaking Starlink. Freaking, the man is a genius. And then you have these people on there that freaking say that Elon Musk is a moron. Yeah, he's a moron, all right. That's why he has billions of dollars. And how much do you bring in? Nada. Bye, Uncle Al. Love you. Thanks for coming in. Elon Musk is definitely not a moron. He's a very smart individual. He may have weird quirks and he may be a little bit weird, but honestly, let's really dive into this a little bit. Who the hell isn't weird? Who? And he has autism as well. How about that? So yeah, I kind of take it personal when somebody says that he's a moron because he is autistic. And like, for kids that have autism, he's like the poster boy for that. People look up to him. You know, and I think, I mean, he has weird quirks, but I think that it's a good thing to look up to somebody like that. He has hopes, dreams, desires, and he has made them come true. And that's not a moronic thing. And the person that said he was a moron is a freaking ex-alcoholic who plays the guitar in his freaking garden center that he has in his house. So who exactly is a moron here? Who are we picking out here? I just am fed up with people. Sometimes also people can be a little bit ridiculous. And I don't know why or how. I think it's just society makes people stupid or something. I don't know. I just can't deal with it much longer. So, thank you guys for coming in, listening to me, and listening to this rant. I hope you can relate to it. I hope that you can understand what I'm trying to say. I do sometimes have a hard time articulating what I really want to talk about and say. But I just get so frustrated. Just in general, it's just like unbelievable. Like, makes my head explode. So, I'm enjoying this beautiful day in my new car. By the way, I don't know if you guys have ever researched Subaru. I didn't really know everything about Subaru, okay? But they are an environmental friendly car. When I'm driving down the road and I put on my brake, my car stops to save gas. There's just lots of really cool things about this car. And I highly suggest, if you ever want to get a new vehicle, to highly suggest a Subaru, because so far everything about this car is freaking awesome. It's awesome. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Just really like my car, my new car. And the seats fold down. So if you wanted to like take a trip and you needed to sleep in the car, and, be an adventurous, you can do that. It has all-wheel drive, it has several different modes. I have a snow and dirt mode. I have deep snow and mud mode. I have all different kinds of cool stuff with this car. So definitely do some research and check it out. But I never thought in a million years I'd be getting a brand new car. It wasn't something on my list. Because I'm normally just a practical person. It's just like, I'll get, by the way, when I was looking at cars, I was looking at $10,000 cars. Just something cheap to get me by. Was not looking for anything like this. So, kind of cool. So, it is 40, I've been on here for 48 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get off here. I believe it's considered one of the safest cars out there. Well, that's really good because I feel really safe when driving it. And I feel safe hauling my son around in this. I had to do some things to it, like I had to get seat protectors, and I had to get a seat protector for under his car seat, because every once in a while my son will throw a fit and start kicking and stuff like that. So I wanted to make sure my car was kind of protected from that. But for the most part, everything in here is super cool. All-wheel drive is really another thing that's needed in Northeast Ohio with the snow and the ice, and we're only like 30 minutes away from the snow belt. We're not very far from it, and sometimes we'll get like unbelievable snow. So, yeah, so far so good. So, thank you guys for coming in today. Thank you for hanging out. And I hope you enjoyed my rant today. And if you just listened for a little bit, just like maybe even like hopefully I changed your mind about a few things out there, and maybe your ideas on things. Hopefully, and when you make votes out there and you stand on a soapbox of something, just make sure it stands for something, and make sure you do your research. Because I can respect somebody that can stand there and has done their research and has infinite knowledge about the subject versus someone who's just trying to persuade my vote, trying to be a used car salesman. So, all right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. And I don't know if I'll have a weird rant tomorrow, but I'll figure it out. I'm sure somebody will piss me off and I'll have to rant about it. So thank you all for coming in, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.